welcome to Untangled, your knitting and sometimes crochet question and answer show. It's good to see you. Good to be back, and it's good to see your lovely face, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Stuart?
I'm good. You survived June then.
I did survive June. Somehow we made it through.
Brilliant. Well, I can't wait to talk to you about June at the end of the show. But do you know what? We've got 3 questions as always, haven't we? Shall we go into it?
Let's do it.
Question number 1. And it's from you. Great one, Jimmy. Do you want to read your own question? Go on.
Sure. It's what is a good DK weight wool yarn that is grown, processed, spun, and dyed in the UK? Bonus points if it's not 100% merino.
Well, we haven't got many merinos living and growing in our fields here in the UK, so you're definitely not going to have any merino, so don't worry about that. Okay, 2 commercial companies. The main one is the West Yorkshire Spinners. You just can't beat them. And their main DK that's been around for the last, I want to say 3 or 4 years, is Colour Lab. 100% British wool. Now, that British wool comes from the company British Wool. It used to be called the Wool Marketing Board. You can see their logo is the Union flag with the classic shepherd's hook. Hook? Is it hook or a rook? Oh, I don't know.
Rook? I don't know.
I don't know. And the yarn, the wool, the fleece itself comes from them. Now, the West Yorkshire Spinners have their own spinning factory, so they will process it all. They'll source the wool from British Wool, and they will have just got it in packs, probably called British Wool, where all the farms from around the UK send it to British Wool. Though that does cause some issues because I don't think the farmers get much money per fleece from British Wool. But anyway, that's another topic for another time. And then the British Wool will source it to whoever via auctions and things. So that's where West Yorkshire Spinners get it from. So you won't know the breeds. It could be various breeds. Like, for example, my yarn that I've sourced myself from for the Lavender and Blue collection, the 2025. I've gone to a farm about 20 minutes down the road and I've sourced Rylands. Well, normally that farm sends those Rylands off to British Wool and it gets all lumped together. So you could say the West Yorkshire Spinners Colour Lab, when it says British Wool, it could have any type of breed in there, but it's just beautifully woolly. It's just nice. It has been treated gently, so you can wash it and put it in the washing machine, but it's not a super wash as such. 100 gram balls in lovely colours. They've got a new yarn coming out this autumn and winter, which we saw when we were in Cologne, didn't we? Morris. And this one is to run alongside Colour Lab. Colour Lab is bright and bold. The colours are not everyone's cup of tea, but this new DK called Morris, based on William Morris and all that lovely stuff that he did, the Strawberry Thief and everything. They have taken that, making a brand new double knit yarn with a beautiful colour pat to... it's a bit like the posh paint company called Farrow & Ball. So all these cool muted colours. So that's coming soon. Then you've got the independent mills, John Arbon Textiles. One of their famous one is Knit by Numbers. These are now in hanks, 100 gram hanks, 233 meters to a hank. It's 50-50, 50 Falklands merino. So still British, but down in the island over there, they have a special breed of merino that have been bred on the Falklands. I don't think it's as soft micron wise as the classic merino. but it's definitely a woolly merino from that point of view. Not treated as a superwash either. And then 50% Blue-Faced Leicester, which is one of the most iconic British breeds, the Blue-Faced Leicester. It's beautiful. That along with Wensleydale. Though I don't see much Wensleydale about at the moment. So that's one from John Arbon Textiles. Then you've got another mill up in Yorkshire again, Laxton's. They do a lot of yarn for independent dyers who like to then dye their own yarns. But Laxton's now sells Sheepsoft DK. It's 100% British wool, but they have said on their description that it will be made up of Blue-Faced Leicester and Masham. And Masham is that breed that's spelt like Masham, and you feel like you should say mash because it's Masham, but it's one of those weird British pronunciations where we just go Masham, don't say the H. And that's more affordable, $13.95 a ball, 220 meters. You've got the classic ones from Shetland, which you might already be familiar with. You've got the company that does Spindrift, which is Jameson's of Shetland. They've got their double knit version that's literally called Jameson's of Shetland double knit. Very original. It's in all the same colours as Spindrift. It's the same one as the 4-ply famous one, but just done as double knit. 25 gram balls, 75 metres, £4.10. And then you've got the other company on Shetland, Jameson's and Smith. They've joined together with the West Yorkshire Spinners, which we've just talked about, to do the Croft, which is 100% Shetland wool. More commercial, this one, $10.95 for 225 grams. You've got a Welsh one, which is not often seen around. Cambrian wool. They've got a lovely DK called Wlan, spelt Gwlan. I didn't do that very Welsh at all, sorry. That's Welsh Mule and Blue-Faced Leicester. They basically got the beautiful Blue-Faced Leicester and the ram and said, oi, oi, do some business with our Welsh mules. So you've got a great mix there of local Welsh wool with the Blue-Faced Leicester characteristic. It's a lovely one. A nice 100 metre 50 gram ball, £8.70. And then, of course, to finish off, if you like luxury and real independent, you've got Anton from the Raw Wool Company, which I follow on Instagram, like to see what he's up to. You're going to the other end of exclusive yarn because they are small independent flocks, maybe sometimes rare breeds as well. Not too sure, but I know they are. It's that kind of thing of you'll have it one year and then another year may not. So it's very exclusive, and towards the later sort of 25, 26, 27, 28 pounds for a 100 gram hank. But then you're investing in Anton and that exclusivity. So there you go. That was a quick whistle-stop tour of some beautiful British wool. Have anything on your list there that I've just said, Jimmy?
I have a couple of them for sure. I know John Arbon. I love working with John Arbon. They're really great people. They have such passion for wool, great ethics. I did their Appledore DK for my Hishi sweater in Making Stories episode, issue 14. Highly recommend that yarn. That's another one that they have. I've been meaning to try the knit by numbers because I think you could do a really good fade with those. Yeah. They're almost like the color selection with that is almost like paint chips, you know, where it goes from like light to dark.
Absolutely. Yes, beautiful.
That's great. I think they have a Yarndalic DK as well. Another one that I have on my list is Di Gilpin has Lalin DK. That's lamb's wool specifically. I think she has another one that's not lamb's wool but is a DK, and those come in some fun colors, and I've heard really good things about it. It's a bit pricier, but it's Scottish and nice.
Well, it was like what we were saying with Anton. These are independent people who organise their own yarn. Where they source it, they organise their own spinning company and everything. So sometimes you just don't hear about them because they market their yarn differently. They're just not so big. They don't have that huge commercial backing. So some of these could just slip under the radar completely. And Di is one of those, because as you know, you're a big fan of hers. She's going to be on a judge on the Game of Wool coming up. She's been around for ages doing stunning work, but just often just gets overlooked by the bigger companies.
Yeah, for sure. And I've heard some really good things. There's a person in the Netherlands that has the yarn, and I'm like very much looking at it at the moment. The deal is I want to make another Guernsey, but like as a pattern. So I want it be more approachable, like a DK weight, like regular sort of needles. So a little bit of texture. I'm really off merino. I'm thinking it's not wearing very well for me. It's because it has a short staple length, and that these other British breeds tend to have longer staple lengths or a little bit more hardiness, I guess, to them, which I really enjoy, and I think would be more appropriate for a Guernsey. And I think that just British yarn in general would be good for a Guernsey. But the idea is to make like a general Guernsey pattern with a couple of motifs that you could interchange and learn the techniques and sort of make it your own, so no one is exactly the same. So that's the idea, and I really am close to pulling the trigger to buying yarn, but I wanted to ask you what you thought, because I'm very curious as a yarn shop owner what you've seen and what you think would be good for that.
Well, any of those, but I did just recently see an American shop getting Di's yarn in, and the colours looked wonderful. And I thought, oh my word, how have I not known about her at all? And her yarn, because it's just not, it's not like she's going to have a rep that goes around all the yarn shops going, oh, are you interested in this yarn? So it's literally word of mouth at the moment. So I might go and actually have a look at that in a bit more detail, because I'm certainly, as the shop develops, going down that route more of independent yarns, or just more unique, I suppose, that where you just can't get it everywhere, and just something a bit different, and not, commercial yarn which you see over and over again, and which anyone can access anywhere. So it's sometimes nice to support these smaller brands. But all right, we'll have to see what we can get going, whether we can do something for you, because that sounds like a really cool project.
Yeah, I think it will be good.
Okay. Right, let's go to the next question. This is from Jo in the UK, and she says, Dear Jimmy and Stuart, in a previous episode, there was a discussion about garment stretching in the wash. Oh, I remember that. Could pre-washing your yarn ever remedy this? And are there any circumstances where you might recommend washing yarn prior to construction, much as we would do with fabric? Thank you. That's actually a very good question. I have no idea. Jimmy, what do you think?
There are two questions, so there are two parts. Is one, will pre-washing your yarn prevent a garment from growing or stretching or anything like that after you make it and then you block it? And the answer is no, it will not. As you knit, you twist the yarn, the stitches do certain things, especially if you do like cables or texture, or if it varies between your knits and your purls, if you're doing something flat, yarn changes by how you knit it. So when you block it, regardless if you've washed the yarn before or not, it's going to shift and move as the stitches settle. So in terms of that, pre-washing your yarn is not a solution. I don't know if there really is a solution for your garment to stay the same. I think that would have to probably do with the structure of the wool and the garment, in terms of like a more woolly wool will tend not to grow as much because it sticks to itself and it has a little bit of structure within the thing. And then like seams don't grow as you block it. I mean, you're supposed to block and then, seam, but like a seam is pretty sturdy, so it's not gonna change shape over time per se. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
And then there was the second part of the question, where it says, any circumstances where you would recommend washing your yarn prior to construction? For me, yes. I think that there are a couple, There are a couple of ways. Would I do them? Probably not. But there's a couple reasons why I think you would do that. One is if the yarn has been like frogged or something, it's all curly whirly noodly.
Yes,
good
point. Yeah.
Quite often that can stay within the project afterwards. So a lot of people
Hank.
Skein it, I guess.
Yeah.
They like soak it in their bathtub. They make a giant hank, and they like soak it in their bathtub, let it dry,
Absolutely.
and then do all that sort of thing. I think that actually would be worth redoing yarn, especially if it's really, stuck in there or if it's been there for a while. Another reason is, and I've heard this with Whole Super Soft has a lot of spinning oil in it. And that can make the knitting experience less comfortable for you. And that also goes with wool that has a lot of not vegetable matter. I can't say it, but it has a lot of stuff in it, like your hays, your grasses, those sort of things. And in that case, I think like a gentle wash will make it easier on your hands before you knit with it, if that's becoming a problem for you. So I think that those were situations where I would do it. Are there any other ones that you can think of, Stuart?
No, it's you've just summed it up brilliantly. Yeah, I can understand the question, Joe. It's a great one because I'm a sewer as well. I like to make things with fabric, and it is often drummed into you. Yes, if you buy this fabric off the bolt, to just wash it again before you start using it, because there could potentially be so much give, because it's only been washed perhaps the once when it was made, whereas I think yarn, it's been washed so many times. Once it's been dyed and rinsed, it's you just can't do anything else with it. Washing it again won't make any difference, as you then rightly say. When you start making it up and moving and using the yarn and it gets twisted and caught together, it's something completely different and will completely be different every time you wash it up once it's made. So it's a clever question, and I like those questions like that where you think, oh, actually, I wonder if that could do that. So Joe did the right thing, emailed in, let us know, and we answered it. Cheers, Jimmy. Right. Last one. If you need, this is from Jenny and Berry, Suffolk. If you need to repair a well-loved hand knit that has developed a hole or a ladder, would you try to match the original colour, weight and yarn to try and repair it? I see, yeah. Or would you make a feature of it by using a contrast yarn? Oh, Jimmy, right, what would you do?
Well, this is all personal preference, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. All right. So what's your personal preference then if you're repairing something?
Okay. I think back to my design school days when it's something like this. Is if something is too close but not quite, then it looks funny. So I think my first reaction would be, if you have, the same yarn or something, go duplicate stitch it or whatever sort of mending that you need to do on it and like make it match. I think that would be my preference. But if you have like an ivory white and then like, a winter white and then like a crisp white, those things look weird together. And I think that the same thing goes with the repair, is if it's not close enough, then it looks off. And in that case, I would go with whatever. I would do these fun visible mendings. I would embroider it. I would do some other thing to really make like a feature out of it. So, I mean, that's my personal preference. What about you?
Absolutely the same. Yep. Either go for something wacky and out there and do that whole thing of visible repairing. It's kind of like the borrow of the Japanese world, isn't it? Borrow, the visible mending and making a feature out of it, and that can either be stylized with like the borrow with the white cotton thread on a solid color, or you could just be wacky and out there and get loads of different colors. Or you could get a button, and put a button on it, or a bow, I don't know, or a brooch, cover it up like that. But I think you're right. Yeah. If you try to be exact, I think everyone will go, oh, it stands out for the wrong reasons, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, depending on how close you are or not.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think whether I've actually repaired any knits yet, or whether I've just gone, oh, do you know what? It's had its day, and chuck it. But I know Jen says there, if you need to repair a well-loved hand knit, have you had one of your, those jumpers that you always wear and you've had a hole in it and you've gone, oh, I love this. I love this. Have you actually repaired it, or have you just chucked it and knitted it again?
Not a hole, but I've definitely altered garments later on several times.
Let us know what you would do in the comments down below. If you have done it, what have you done? Have you gone for that whole visible, really making a feature of it? Or have you managed to source some yarn that was close enough? I suppose it does depend on how big the hole is, doesn't it? Because if it's only a small one, you could probably repair that with sewing cotton thread and just pick up the V's, and like you see on those cool Instagram feeds where the person fixes it beautifully and pulls. But let us know. Let us know. Well, there we are. That's 3 questions done. 20 past. A few minutes just to have a chat and a catch up and a breather. So June's done for you now. You had your test knit for a very secret project, though I don't think it's that secret now because you did announce it, didn't you?
They were all over Instagram. I get this email from them being like, hush, hush, we don't want anybody to know. And then there were 1,000 test calls on Instagram, and it was for Lina magazine. And they were also posting everything too. So I was like, I can't do anything, whatever. And then they're like, oh yeah, just go for it. And I was like, whatever. But so yes, I did post about it. I think I actually took most of the stuff down, including the knit sweater and the test knit. But yes, there's a sweater for Lina coming next year sometime.
How exciting.
It was
you
very
must be
exciting.
chuffed. Yeah, good on you. Well done you.
Thank you. I was very surprised when I got the email. But yeah, I'm very excited about it. It will be a good one.
Surprised that I always call them Lane magazine, but I think the posh way of saying it is Lina. Is that right?
I think Lina is how they pronounce it because it's Finnish, but I think Lane is the French actual pronunciation. Yeah. So
but you're just as good a designer as any of those people that are in there. So, but I know the feeling. It's just still nice to be asked, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's not one of the faces that you would normally see in one of those magazines, I think. Absolutely. And I think that's what it was nice. But it was a sweater, they asked for sweaters, and I was like, well, if there's one thing I do know, it is sweaters. So I thought I would submit.
Yeah. So that pressure is gone now, has it? Or it's just less?
It's less. So I wanted to make sure that I gave my testers a solid 8 weeks to test, because otherwise it's not going to be great. So I designed, knit, graded, tech edited poorly the pattern and put it out for testing in 3 weeks, which was quite a lot of work, and which is why I defaulted on life for a little bit so I could get that out.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Well, because this isn't paid work either. Hopefully, Lena are paying you, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Of course, that comes first, and your well-being, making sure you haven't got annoying things, or I've got to do that, and I've got to do that. You just needed time to go, right, I'm just doing work, and then I'm doing this knitting.
Mm-hmm.
And a few trips away, I saw you on the train at one point. Where were you going?
I mean, I had a lot of work to do. So I have a day job where I'm an architect and I open stores for companies. And there were 2 stores that opened in June, so I had a lot of traveling. So it was a lot of hats, and I started sock knitting too.
Now, because you thought, if I'm on the train a lot, sock knitting will be perfect, or you just thought, you know what, it's the time to, I want to do a sock?
Both. I think it was both. Like, I was curious about it. I have an experiment that I'm running, and, you know, a bunch of train knitting time is perfect for sock knitting.
And have you done one sock yet? Have you done a pair? Or are you halfway through your first? Where are you?
I think I've done 4 or 5.
Oh my God. Are you going to turn into one of these? Is it a thing now for you? Oh, no. Okay.
No. I'll knit some more socks, but I'm not a sock knitter. I had a lot of travel time, let's say. But
I think you know within like one sock whether I'm just going to knit socks and nothing else. I think people say it almost straight away, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely have very strong thoughts and feelings about sock knitting now.
Well, there we go. I'm going to go outside now because it's back to being boiling hot here in the UK, about 25 degrees centigrade, which is great for getting out of the garden. The wheat has finally turned yellow in the field behind me, so I reckon a combine harvester is going to come through any minute. But anyway, there we go. Thanks, everyone. Send us in your questions. If you've got any knitting or crochet questions, we'll have a go answering them. Click on the form in the link below and we'll get answering them. And we'll see you on the next podcast, whenever you choose to listen. Cheers, Jimmy. Thank you. See you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.